Hi, I'm Mark Yazapovic, and this is my wife, Sandy Yazapovic. We're here to share her cancer survivor story. Back in 2001, we took her to emergency. She was not doing well, and after some tests, she was rushed into emergency surgery 3 days later to remove a tumor that was rapidly growing. It was the size of her fist. Colon cancer she was diagnosed with, almost stage 4. About 14 inches of her lower intestine was removed. And during this whole process, I was pulled into the room by the doctors and told that it was a very aggressive form of cancer, that I needed to go home and get my affairs in order, which was pretty devastating to hear as a young dad. The Mayo Clinic that did the surgery did a wonderful job removing the cancer and basically saving her life.
Even though they'd gotten the tumor, it had already spread. And so what we found out was I was given a 20% or 30% chance of survival through the Mayo, and to do the 6 months of chemo and radiation was a standard protocol. We had a lot of people that had set up, for us to go to see other specialists and, doctors that they knew. And we actually did. One of them actually happened to be right here in Arizona, and but it was brand new, first week of opening. And it was on the integrative side, more on the natural side. And so we went there for a second opinion and were blown away by what we learned there.
Because of our business contacts, we knew some people that are very well connected, and we got another opinion. We got a chance to go to the Sloan Kettering Center in New York, which is a world-renowned cancer center. At the time, it was ranked, I think, number 2 in the country. And we went into this skyscraper in Manhattan, which was very impressive. And we were very disappointed when we left because not only did we not get any answers the minute they found out we were even talking to a naturopathic center, it was like we just weren't worth talking to anymore. Basically, we were told at this other place that what the Mayo's doing is what we'll be doing. There's no guarantees this will work. We are actually given a worst chance of survival, a 20% chance of survival. So we went from 30 to 20. And it wasn't my life, it's my wife's, so we had talked, and she goes, what have I got to lose by trying Envita? I only got a 20-30% chance with these other guys. I may as well give this a shot. And we started treatment at Envita thereafter.
And, I thank God that we did because, here I am 15 years later, completely healthy, been in remission, or well, I'm sorry, I'm not in remission. I've been cancer-free for the last 15 years. For how aggressive my cancer was. My doctor, my surgeon had never seen anything that aggressive in over 20 years. And he did not have a good outlook. He was trying to be as positive as he can. I keep in touch with him every year on 9/11 because that was the day of my surgery in 2001. Mm-hmm. And all surgeries were canceled except mine that day. And he said something told him that he needed to go in that day. And so that timing saved my life. But then the aftercare and the decisions that I made after is what lead me where I am today. I've never had the cancer come back, which is unknown for this type that I had. To be 15 years cancer free, and
she's not ever been in remission. She's
no, there's no cancer.
To go from being basically given a death sentence to feeling better than you ever have. There's something to this science.
Envita was the only center, the only doctor that talked to me about rebuilding the immune system, oxygenating, the blood, and like getting it in an alkaline state so it can choke out the cancer, rebuilding that immune system by changing your diet. I mean, I'd asked the specialist at Sloan Kettering, and he said, diet has nothing to do with it. And I had colon cancer. My grandmother died of it. My aunt died of it at a young age.
The great thing about Envita was they never stopped us from going to the other hospitals or the other treatments. Envita's about integration. They're not about just being an island. And we are actually encouraged to start the chemo and radiation at that time with the Mayo, which is what we decided to go with. Well, Sandy decided to go with, but start the Envita treatments at the same time. At one point, we were at home with the kids, and she was telling me.
First week.
She was telling me she would. At one point, she told me she would rather die from the cancer than take this chemo crap anymore. It was killing her. It was making her feel horrible. She was burned in every mucous membrane on her body. At one point, we were sitting at home on the couch watching TV, and her lips were swelling as I was looking at her, to the point where the skin was lifting off her lip, and you could see it moving up, and it freaked me out. And at that point, I called the hospital. I demanded an appointment with the head oncologist at the hospital, and he took her in. When she walked in, he got so freaked out, he pulled her aside into a side room because he didn't want the other patients to see her. And I said, man, you got to dial this down. And the conversation we had, I'll never forget. I said, do we even know this is working? I mean, do you have any markers? Do we know what you're doing is even making a difference? Because all she's feeling is lousy. And the answer I got from a world-renowned hospital dealing with cancer, the head oncologist, was this. He goes, yeah, we've got markers. If she's still here in 5 years, we know we've done the right thing. And when I heard, I could not believe what I heard. I was ready to pop the guy, but I didn't. And I knew at that moment we were at the right place in Envita, and we just went full blast into that point. Actually, she had stopped doing the chemo radiation
After 4 months.
on her own accord. It was supposed to be a 6-month therapy. She stopped it after 4.
And I hope that, our story can help someone out there that's searching like I was. And 15 years ago, integrative medicine was not even a word, was not even a thought. To even think of eating organic, to even think of doing anything natural was thought of as quackery. And I'm here to tell you the science is far better and far greater than anything that you could ever learn from just a cancer center that can only do those protocols that clinic is allowed to do. You've got to think outside the box. You've got to be your own doctor, and you've got to make the decisions that are based on you so that you can go and stack the odds in your favor so you can beat this cancer, because cancer can be beaten.